how you doing? So, here's a story. My buddy from Sweetwater said, hey, Henning, let's do a video together. We give you money, you make a video, and we sell stuff. And I'm into that. I'm into selling stuff and you getting good shit. So, he sends me a whole list of products that we could be looking at together. And I'm like, yeah, no, wait a second. And there was the name iZotope. Because it's very easy for me to make you buy things when I use them every day and I love the living crap out of them. iZotope, RX. Oh my god, get yourself RX. It's freaking ridiculous. If you do videos, stuff, or location audio, it saves my ass daily. It's on everything. De-noise, de-crackle, de-clip, if you distort it a little bit. De-wind, if I record out in the field. It's ridiculous. But I've already talked about RX. And then there's Nectar, which is an amazing channel strip plugin. No. And then there's Neutron, amazing channel strip plugin. I use it daily. Then there's Ozone, the mastering plugin. I use it daily. But I wanted to talk about a plugin. I wanted to talk about a plugin that I haven't used that much, which I wanted to dive into a little bit more. Because I'm known, you don't know this because you watch guitar videos, I'm known for vocal recordings. I've worked with Sebastian Bach from Skid Row and James LaBrie and the guy from Kansas and so many people. So I'm pretty well known, or used to be well known, as the guy that makes vocalists sound good. And I have a big vocal chain of plugins. But iZotope has Nectar. And if you don't want to fiddle around with all these plugins and watch videos on how to make vocals sound great, this is the bee's knees. And we're going to look at Nectar on 3 different songs and how it kind of automatically does the job for you without you having to research what compressor is good and do an 1176 into a pool take and blah, blah, blah. How about we just make music, you hit auto, and you're done? How about that? We're going to look at that, 3 different examples. Example number 1 will be my buddy Rafa in one of Campaign Like Clockwork songs, and we're going to see what Nectar can do there. And if you like all that stuff, then you're going to use my links. Go to Sweetwater. Maybe Sweetwater's over there. Depends on where you live. And you buy it. And that makes Sweetwater happy. That makes me happy. It makes you the happiest because you got a cool plugin in case you record vocals. Let's figure it out now. So here we are. We're now in Cubase. And I'll show you what's going on. Here's the whole song. It's called The End. Loads of guitars, effecty things. Definitely a lot of stuff that's competing with the vocal. And what do we have here? Loads of guitars. Oh my god, and there's shakers and drums and loads of, like this. Well, the thing that matters to us are the vocals, which you can see. There's a lead vocal, which is spread out over 1, 2, 3 tracks here, just jumping back and forth. There's a double, which is doubled automatically using a Waves plugin. And there's one section here, which is a big choir thing, which we can ignore because it's in one section. The end, 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 the steep decline. So I'll show you what I usually use. We're gonna go and maybe loop this whole section here. So I usually route the lead vocals to a group. So all these 3 tracks end up on a single group. La 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 la. There. That's my lead vocal group. You can see down here, it says LV. And on that group, I have a lot of stuff. I have the Studio, well, it's universal audio stuff because I use a lot of universal audio plugins. And that's my typical chain. You can also see that on the, that's the master that doesn't have the Ozone on it. Let's quickly remedy that. Because I thought we did that on all the sessions. The Ozone's pretty awesome, which you can also, by the way, get at Sweetwater. So all these plugins I had on there, which are good, but check this out. I put Ozone 9 on there. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to deal with equalizer and maximizer and saturator. I'm just going to run it and hit Master Assistant. So it's asking me modern, yup. Okay. Medium intensity for CD. Let's do it. Now you play it.
I'm caving in. I'm breathing, I'm wearing thin. But the son of a bitch and my heart keeps on beating bones and skin. Yeah, they're grieving, I'm caving in. The end is near. A new beginning, goodbye, my dear. It's a stupid game and there's no way of winning. I'm feeling weird. My head is spinning, it's hot in here. Steep decline, I can't find my way out of here. Just out of
Done. Did all this automatically, and that's a good master. Trust me, I've compared it to stuff. I don't even fiddle around with it. Let it do its automatic thing. The bass is there, the snare's there, but we're moving on. Here is my vocal chain.
I'm caving in. I'm breathing, I'm wearing thin. But the son of a bitch and my heart keeps on beating bones and skin. Yeah, they're grieving, I'm
So that's with the effects turned off. And let me show you my chain. I like to use the Studio 800, which is a little bit of saturation of tape.
caving in.
Gives a little bit of extra harmonics. Very simple, I use an LA2A.
The end is near. A new beginning, goodbye, my
About -5 dB. I love the Mark EQ right here. At 10K, I'm adding the airband, adding a little bit of bite at 2.5, warmth at 160, a little bit reduced here. We're gonna see what iZotope's gonna suggest, but that's one of my go-to EQs. Here we have the Noveltech Vocal Enhancer from Plugin Alliance,
I'm caving in.
which does crazy things with analyzing and then pushing cool frequencies to make it audible in the mid frequencies. It's a great plugin.
I'm breathing, I'm wearing thin. But the son of a bitch and my heart keeps on beating bones.
It literally makes it jump out of the mix. And then I have a precision de-esser from Universal Audio for the de-essing set on a tenor. Now, all these plugins, the Studer probably 250, okay, or 199, 250, sometimes 350. The LA2A, that's the better version from UA, probably $200. The Mark EQ4, 200, 250. The Noveltech Vocal Enhancer, 100, 150. And the Precision de-esser, probably also 150. This is $1,000 or more in vocal chain. Yeah, if you know what you're doing, this can get you there. But you have to buy them, and you have to use them, and you have to know what you're doing. Do I know what I'm doing? I don't know. But now we see Nectar 3 right there. There's also a Nectar Elements, which is a cheaper version, but this is Nectar 3, the full version. And it has a lot of modules. It even has a pitch module. It has built-in pitch correction, which we can look at. Here's an EQ, which is way more advanced than the Mark that I use. And I'm going to show you some of those advanced functions. There's a compressor. And what else? What else do we have? There's a de-esser. There's a delay. I didn't even know that. Dimension for wididity. A gate. Okay. Harmony. I didn't. A built-in reverb, which is more for a little bit of space, and saturation. So we're going to see. Oh, that is ridiculous. This is all in the package, by the way. So it could be your one-stop shop for vocals. But I don't want to know and learn all this stuff. So I will literally run the vocal assistant, just like we ran the mastering assistant. I can run the UNMASK, which is really cool, and I'll show you in the last section of this video, or the assist, okay? I want a modern vibe. Dialogue is cool if you're actually recording dialogue. Don't even think about anything. Let it do its thing. With moderate intensity, that's good. Next, and now it wants me to play the file. Well,
bones and skin. Yet the grieving I'm caving in. The end is near. A new beginning. Goodbye, my dear. It's a stupid game and there's no way of winning. I'm feeling weird. My head is spinning. It's hot in here. In steep decline, I can't find my way out of here.
so let's see what it did. Didn't do any pitch. I can manually turn that on. It didn't really use the gate because there wasn't any space.
I'm caving in.
Right there, I could use the gate, but I just manually turn it on. Not solo. Turn it on.
I'm caving in. I'm breathing, I'm wearing thin. But the son of a bitch in my heart keeps on beating, bones and skin. Yet the...
It's a busy part. You don't need the gate, so let's turn it off. EQ. Didn't do much. Look at that.
I'm caving in.
So where's my nice high-end boost that I want? Well, there's another EQ coming.
I'm breathing, I'm wearing...
So it automatically said these, let's call them harmonics maybe, should go down a little bit. Of course, I can add a new one anywhere I want. How do I get rid of that? Oh, off. It did a de-esser.
Thin, but the son of a bitch in my heart keeps on beating, bones and skin.
Okay, which I can, of course, make more drastic.
I'm breathing, I'm wearing thin, but...
So you can change the threshold there, and even the frequency to the left and right, but I'll trust that it did the right thing, and Rafa isn't a very kind of a vocalist. EQ2, see here, the EQ2 after the de-esser, which is clever, because why boost it and then take it away? It boosted a lot of the high end here.
But the son of a bitch...
Why is this moving around? Because it's clever. It's dynamic and frequency dependent if you want it.
Heart keeps on beating, bones and skin.
So when needed, it can move that frequency where it rolls off down a little bit, so it doesn't cut off any frequencies that I want. But when those frequencies are unwanted, it moves up. So that's pretty clever. I can move over here because there's so many modules it added. Here's the compressor with a pretty heavy threshold.
Yet the grieving, I'm caving in.
It's probably quieter than what I usually do. It's on automatic. It doesn't know how loud my music is. So I'm just gonna boost that a little bit. Oh, oopsie.
I'm caving in. I'm breathing, I'm wet.
And here's a reverb where they rolled off the high and the low end, not to muddy it up, and a little bit of mix just to give it a little bit of room because they don't know that I add my reverb with something else. But just to give it a little bit of dimension, why not?
Wearing thin, but the son of a bitch in my heart keeps on beating.
This right here is very interesting. This is actually your auto level. It will automatically keep the vocals, if possible, at that level and always pump in the correct amount of vocals. And I have an output limiter here so that I'm never actually getting into the red.
Eating bones and skin, yet the grieving, I'm caving in. The end is near.
He pushed the mic a little bit there. Very little I can do, except if I used D-clip from RX8. So let's compare that to what I usually use, and then we tweak it a little bit because that's a good starting point. That is technically what you need, but then of course you tweak it. So let's listen to this.
I'm caving in. I'm breathing.
And turn all my other stuff on and Nectar off.
I'm caving in. I'm breathing. I'm wearing thin.
Feels a little bit louder. Feels a little bit fuller. Okay? do we need that? Well, let's play it in context and see how they stack up against each other.
I'm caving in, I'm breathing, I'm wearing thin, but the son of a bitch and my heart keeps on beating bones and skin. Yeah, the grieving, I'm caving in. The end is near, a new beginning, goodbye my dear. It's a stupid game and there's no way of winning. I'm feeling weird, my head is spinning, it's hot in here. Steep decline, I can't find my way out of here. Just out of here. I'm out of rhymes, I can't find my way out of here. Just out of here. Time is running out.
Yeah, so bottom line, I pushed a little bit of that warmth back in at around, what was that? 330 hertz, and that was it. Little bit more lift on the top end, right about there, and I'm pretty much close to the feel that I had before with all those plugins, and I didn't really have to do much. The artificial intelligence, machine learning, super complex of the computer is going to take over the world that iZotope's programming. It's some kind of crazy AI that they do. It did its job. Here's another cool thing. I'll show you. I'm going to solo that again. I'll show you what you can do with dynamic EQing. It's so crazy. So when you click on this, you can open this pane to the right. I can say gain, and it'll only compress when it's above a certain threshold. No! It'll only EQ when it's above a certain volume. So it's a dynamic EQ.
Help me in this now. You're not supposed to understand. The one thing left to do is the end. I'm lost without a doubt. Cry my silent shouts. You're not supposed to understand. The one thing left to do.
See it? That's so cool. Even cooler is the fact that you can hone in on certain fundamentals of the vocals. So fundamental is you sing the root note and then an octave and then a fifth and then another octave and so on. And if you want to tame one of those or emphasize one of those, you can easily do it, and it actually latches onto it. So let's do this. Frequency instead of gain, and you can see the spectrum.
I'm caving in, I'm breathing, I'm wearing thin, but the son of a bitch and my heart keeps on beating bones and skin. Yeah, the grieving.
So you can see that it's actually on the second harmonic. There's a big bump down here,
And I'm caving in.
but it's actually lowering the volume on the second harmonic, meaning the second octave. I can go and put that down on the fundamental.
The end is near, a new beginning, goodbye my dear. It's a stupid game and there's no way of winning. I'm feeling
Or on the third harmonic.
weird, my head is spinning, it's hot in here. In steep decline, I can't find my way.
So it's not always in the same position, which doesn't make a lot of sense because the note moves around and it moves around with that note. That is ridiculously cool. Okay, so we're gonna turn that off.
Out of here, just out of here.
Turn that off again, and now it's just a normal EQ. Okay, pitch. It's got pitch.
I'm out of.
Correction on. Custom, which in this case will be, I don't know what the key is. Let's see if we can find out what the key is. Knowing Rafa, it's probably something complicated. We got a D minor, a C, G over B, B flat. Ugh. It's a form of, some form of D minor, but with a G that doesn't help. So we can't really do a particular key. So I'll just go chromatic. I go custom, leave it chromatic, and then we turn it on. Not a lot of strength.
Of rhymes, I can't find my way out of here. Just out of here. Time
So that was too much strength, because we don't want the auto-tune effect.
out of here.
Too much strength.
Just out of here. Time is running out. Help me in this now. You're not supposed to understand. The one thing left to do is the end. I'm lost without a doubt. Cry my silent shouts. You're not supposed to understand. The one thing left to do.
Awesome. It's pitching, I mean, a little bit, but you can't actually hear those crazy, pitch things that you don't want. The share thing. Let's see what else we have. We have dimension. Chorus, flanger, phaser. Okay.
I'm caving in. I'm breathing, I'm wearing thin. But the son of a bitch in my heart keeps on beating bones and skin. Yet they're grieving, I'm caving in. The end is near. A new beginning, goodbye, my.
Okay, if you wanted that, it's built in. Bye-bye. Dimension, harmony, delay. There we go.
I'm caving in. I'm breathing, I'm wearing thin. But the son of a bitch on my heart keeps on beating bones and skin. Yeah, they're grieving, I'm caving in. The end is near. A new beginning, goodbye, my dear. It's a stupid game and there's no way of winning. I'm feeling weird.
In context, that's all I need. That's amazing.
My head is spinning, it's hot in here. Steep decline, I can't find my way out of here. Just out of here.
That delay is cool. Of course, he got all this extra stuff in there. And harmony. What does harmony do?
I'm out of rhymes, I can't find my way out of here. Just out of
That should probably be before reverb and delay, I guess.
out of here. Time is running out. Help me in this now. You're not supposed to understand. The one thing left to do is the end. I'm lost without a doubt. Cry my silent shouts. You're not supposed to understand. The one thing left to do. I'm caving in. I'm breathing, I'm wearing thin. But the son of a bitch in my heart keeps on beating bones and skin. Yet they're grieving, I'm caving in. The end is near. A new beginning, goodbye, my dear. It's a stupid game and there's no way of winning. I'm feeling weird. My head is spinning, it's hot in here. And steep decline, I can't find my way out of here. Just out of here. I'm out of rhymes, I can't find my way out of here. Just out of here. Time is running out. Help me in this now. You're not supposed to want.
So it's an easy way actually to double as well. If we turn off these, actual pitches, these unisons vary a bit in time and pitch, and that's a great way to do a quick double.
I'm caving in. I'm breathing, I'm wearing thin. But the son of a bitch in my heart keeps on beating bones and
Which is literally what I'm doing on the double track. So that's actually built in. That is great.
skin. Yeah, that.
But of course, if you wanted a quick test of what some harmonies sound like.
Grieving, I'm caving in. The end is near. A new beginning, goodbye, my dear. It's a stupid
you'd have to have the right key, obviously. That rhymes. And then there's saturation, which it didn't add. And I did that with the Studio tape. So I will put the saturation here. And that is literally doing exactly that. And look, there's analog, retro, tape, tube, warmth, distortion if you wanted to. So we're going to add some tape.
Steep decline, I can't find my way out of here. Just out of here.
You can see
I'm out
where that's
of
saturated.
rhymes, I can't find my way out of here. Just out of here. Time is running out. Help me end this now. You're not supposed to understand the one thing left to do.
Probably putting this before the compressor would be a good idea.
To do's the end, I'm lost without a doubt. Cry my silent shouts. You're not supposed to understand the one thing left to do. I'm caving in. I'm breathing, I'm wearing thin. But the son of a bitch in my heart keeps on beating bones and skin. Yet the grieving, I'm caving in. The end is near. A new beginning, goodbye my dear. It's a stupid game and there's no way of winning.
Vocals there. It's exactly where I want it. Let's check again against my other stuff with the effects.
I'm caving in. I'm breathing, I'm wearing thin. But the son of a bitch in my heart keeps on beating bones and skin. Yet that grieving, I'm caving in. The end is near. A new beginning, goodbye my dear. It's a stupid game and there's no way of winning. I'm feeling weird.
Yeah, so everything I did in the mix and everything I want from the mix and all that stuff just went down the drain because the automatic with a couple of tweaks and an added delay and saturation is sitting better in the mix and sounds better. It sucks that it's that easy, because technically that means anyone can get a kick-ass vocal sound without knowing what the crap they're doing. That's impressive. Wow. Let's listen to the chorus here. Let's listen to the part back here. Why not? That's cool.
Deep decline, I can't find my way out of here. Just out of here. Out of rhymes, I can't find my way out of here. Just out of here. Time is running out. Help me end this now. You're not supposed to understand the one thing left to do is the end. I'm lost without a doubt. Cry my silent shouts. You're not supposed to understand the one thing left to do is the end. Time is running out. Help me end this.
That is ridiculous. We're gonna do this again on a song featuring James LaBrie, which has a lot more space. We know all the modules now, so we're gonna quickly see what it does with a completely different song and a completely different vocalist. So here's the song Walking Through Genetic Space, which I did with James LaBrie on the album Frameshift, Unweaving the Rainbow. It's got this huge vocal intro, which we're not gonna deal with. It's like, I don't know, 40 tracks or something. It's ridiculous. There's loads and loads of tracks.
Walk with me and see through my eyes. Try to keep up, and you will under. Walk with me and see through my eyes. Try to keep up, and you will understand.
let's do the same thing here. Gonna look at the lead vocal. Oh, that's a big mixer. Which again goes onto a group back here, just like before. And we're gonna see what I have on that group. Oh, look, it's similar. It's a Studio 800, it's the LA2A, it's the Mark EQ4, it's the Noveltech Vocal Enhancer. So we're gonna take a section here.
Of something else. Come. Now we travel through both time and space. See the beauty this world has made. View the stages one by one. Explore the change, don't be afraid. Walk, walk with me. And see through my eyes. Try to keep up. And you will understand. Walk, walk with me. And see through my eyes. Try to keep up. And you will understand. Feel that you are something else. Come. We travel through both time and space. See the beauty this world has made. Do stages one by one. Explore change, don't be afraid. Walk, walk with me. And see through my eyes. Try to keep up.
So here we are. This is what Nectar decided to do. Very little trimming off of some problem frequencies again. A de-esser in EQ. That looks very similar, actually.
And you will understand. Walk, walk with me.
Rather heavy compression.
Me. And see through my eyes. Try to keep up. And you will
I want a little bit more of the reverb, which is actually rather nice. I don't know what reverb it is. Who cares if it's that good?
understand. Feel.
I'm gonna put a delay on there again, because I want to. And we're gonna go echo. I don't know.
That you are part of something else. Come. Now we travel through both time and space. See the beauty this world has made. View the stages one by one. Explore the change, don't be afraid. Walk, walk with me. Feel that you are part of something else. Come, now we travel through both time and space. Feel that you are part of something else. Come, now we travel through both time and space. See the beauty this world has made. View the stages one by
Okay. Apparently I like a little bit more treble. So that's what I will just add here. A little bit more of this. Generally a little bit more volume. And a little bit more beef right there.
Feel that you are part of something else. Come, now we travel through both time and space. See the beauty this world has made. View the stages one by one. Explore the change, don't be afraid. Walk, walk with me. And see through my eyes.
And again, I looked at the level right here. It's the same level. It's not louder than it was before, because louder always sounds better. But, oh boy, but just doing these tiny little tweaks now to what it did automatically, I'm good. Of course, we can add the saturation, again, before the compressor. Let's see what that does.
Feel that you are part of something else. Come, now we travel through both time and space. See the beauty this world has made. Through the stages, one by one. Explore the change, don't be afraid. Walk with me and see through my eyes. Try to keep up, and yet I will understand. Walk with me and see through my eyes.
That is phenomenal, given the fact that this is about the price of 2 of the other plugins, not even. You have effects, compression, all the automatic stuff, amazing EQ with dynamic level and frequency, and you have a freaking auto-tune in there, which I don't think James needs, but let's check.
That you are part of something else. Come, now we travel through both time and space. See the beauty this world has made. Through the stages, one by one. Explore the change.
No, not really. I mean, that's why he's who he is. I'm going to show you the last really amazing thing, which is the UNMASK feature. Metal is difficult. That's all I'm going to say for that. So, metal is difficult when it comes to mixing vocals. Why? Well, because in metal, you're fighting against distorted guitars, which in those 2 songs, well, we had it in the first one with the fuzzes and all that. In the second one, not so much, so it's rather easy to get it out of the mix. If you're doing hip-hop, R&B, anything or pop, without distorted guitars, it's a lot easier to get the vocals out of the mix. But in metal, it's ridiculously tough because you got this going on. So that's a dense carpet of exactly those frequencies that make the distorted guitar sound good, that the vocals want to be sitting in to sound good and come out of the mix. So what do? I prepped the session a little bit and I'll show you. Everything is going to a group called everything. Okay? You can see up here, I routed everything but the vocals, the vocal group. This is going to subgroups, and here all the subgroups are going to everything. So my whole mix is literally going to this group.
To act unethically when I think I've killed enough. My voice is waking up. Propaganda in my...
And I don't touch that. So this is a song with Sebastian. I said that wrong. Sebastian Bach from Skid Row or ex-Skid Row, and then who knows what else he's done other than annoy me. Sorry, not gonna go there.
In my head, another woman dead. Television's got no white light. Giving in to avoid a fight. The masters pull my strings.
Okay, there he is. Now he's fighting, as anyone else would, against the distorted guitars.
Guilt is forcing me to act unethically.
So on the everything track, which is everything other than the lead vocal, I inserted the relay, which comes with Nectar. So you put relay on there, and I named it everything. You can put relay on a bunch of different tracks, doesn't matter where. So let's say I wanted to have, well, we can actually do that. We're going to first do that. Wait, oh, well. We're going to put relay on the electric guitar group. There's relay. We're going to call that one electric guitars, e.g. Okay, done. So, now I'm going to go onto the vocal group. Where's it? Lead vocal, here. Why is it red? I don't know. And, you know what? I'm going to keep all my stuff on there that I have on his voice. For now. My studio and all the stuff I usually put on there. But I'm going to put Nectar at the end. There it is. And now I'm going to run the vocal assistant but in the unmasked feature, not the assist feature. Right there. And I'm selecting a source, and in this case, everything. Bam. And next.
When I think I've killed enough, my voice is waking up. Propaganda in my head. Another.
Nothing changed in here. Okay? Nothing. It's taking all the settings from my plugins that I usually have and sent them through the unmask feature. Which now in Relay, I go to my everything track, and up here unmask, I can add the amount. And check this out.
The woman dead. Television's got no white light. Giving in to avoid a fight. The masters pull my string.
It knows what it has to carve out of the mix to give Sebastian his space. You can do this as a sidechain. I don't know what that means. You can do it, well, dynamic means if I do this, it's there the whole time.
Control of everything that happens on this stage.
Dynamic means it's only making that whole when he sings. So the rest of the music will be unaffected.
A puppet of their rage. I try to run away. Desire makes me stay. Every time I try to turn my back, I find them still attached. Tell me, is it really sinful I do?
Oh, there's a lot of low mid stuff going on that he's fighting against. You don't have to know that. I don't have to know that. Nectar knows that.
You is just giving. Give me just one more. That's all I need to quench this.
And bam, there's the vocal. That's ridiculous. Okay? But I can, of course, run the whole thing again. I'm going to say amount is off. We're going to undo that. So everything is unaffected because I turned it off. So I can leave that. But I have a relay on my electric guitars. So let's run this again on the electric guitars. Unmask. We're going to run it. Next. Electric guitars. Next.
That's all I need to quench this thirst inside of me. Feeling satisfied, but beyond the
So now it gave the relay on the electric guitar subgroup the information it needed to carve out my electric guitars against the voice. Which means my drums, my synthesizer, and my bass is staying unaffected, but I can carve out the space in the electric guitars dynamically for when he's singing. So I'm going to go to my relay, electric guitars, click unmask. Look at this. It's much more detailed.
meat still cries. Give me just one more.
So we're going to do just the chorus here. Just one more. Just the chorus. Here we go.
Give me just one more. That's all I need to quench this thirst inside of me. Feeling satisfied, but beyond the door, the meat still cries. Give me just one more.
That's ridiculous. It doesn't really kill too much of the guitar. And of course, in the intro, no vocals, so check this out. Doesn't sound like it's majorly affected.
Give me just one more. That's all I need to quench this thirst inside of me. Feeling satisfied, but beyond the door, the meat still cries. Give me just one more. Day, I might give this away. Have to make a choice. Never shame on play the voice. Tell me, is it really sick?
So there you go. Whatever track is fighting with your vocal, you can use Nectar to teach that track to get out of the way. Obviously, I could run the vocal assistant on Nectar now as well to have everything that I need that I've done on the other songs. In this case, I decided to use Nectar only to carve out the other tracks. This unmasked feature is ultra simple, super effective, and realistically, I'm going to use that on every song from now on. Just to make it's all about the vocals. I know we guitar player love the guitar, but realistically, it's all about the vocal. If the vocal has the right space and the people can hear it clearly, you've won. This is freaking ridiculous. It is such a good plugin, and it contains so many things that you would individually buy and utilize. There's a no-brainer. Now, thank you, Sweetwater, for commissioning this video. I learned a lot, and I have a new tool, which I love. Thank you, iZotope, for making an amazing tool. Thanks to your overlord AI for helping. You got to make sure that you thank the AI, because if they take over, then you're their best friend. And I need to point out that I think when you want to buy software at Sweetwater, I think you have to be in a certain territory. It might only be America. I don't think they're allowed to sell software to Europe, I think. So figure that out. If you can't buy it at Sweetwater in Europe, buy it somewhere else. But you Americans, most certainly go to Sweetwater, check this thing out. They have all the iZotope stuff. They're best buddies. They hang out and have coffee all the time. This is the shits. All the iZotope stuff is the shits. But Nectar, if you don't want to fiddle around with vocals, get it. And I'm not saying this because they're paying me. I'm saying this because, holy crap, you've heard it. It was better than what I can do. And I know my shit. Okay? Okay, links below, animals at the end.